Hello, everybody. It's Friday. That means it's time for another topic of the week. Last week's topic on the Warhammer community page. Well, it was here, and there were some interesting responses and thoughts. And it's clear that this is still version 1. We've got a lot of room to grow. I think some of people's hopes were true. I think one of the hopes we don't have to worry about. One of them was sort of the vitriol, the fear of like vitriol and negativeness and stuff like that. Well, there's no forum at this point. There may be in the future, but there's not right now. So that's not going to happen. But for the most part, there were some really great articles, and they've gotten in on the rumor game and stuff like that. So I think it looks really cool. And certainly, I think it's got a lot of space to go in the future and is the right step. By the way, I want to give a special shout out here to Hooves of Doom, who had not only a good response to this, but also to kind of his follow-up video on that, with a video that was shared on the community and on their YouTube, and his response to thinking about the Warhammer TV sort of movie videos. That was a sort of trailer for the coming of Magnus the Red. I don't have much interest in 40K, but I will admit I thought that trailer was cool, and I think the points Hooves makes in there about the way that their releases are now being shaped by narrative, not just we're going to release an elf book because it's time to make elves, I think is really important, and something that, although we've talked about, I think he crystallizes it really well. So I kind of want you to go and check that out. It's related. I'll link both of those videos down. Or I'll link the second video down below, and of course his community response is down in the last week. There's linked in last week's video, which is also linked down below. Okay. All that out of the way. This week's topic. So this week's topic, we're going to have the release of Blood Bowl. It's been a while. We've known it's coming for months. Again, an unusual thing, but yet here it is. And I had the good opportunity to see the whole box, to play around with the miniatures 2 weekends ago. I thought it looked really good. Apparently the rules are more or less completely preserved from its original incarnation, but obviously you've got new miniatures updated, and you do have some new optional rules and some new clarifications and cleanup and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's the same game. So I thought Blood Bowl would be a great topic of the week this week. There are so many people out there who I know have a deep-seated love of this game. This is one of those specialist games that a lot of people just are diehards for. I mean, to the point where there's still an active Blood Bowl league. You know, the game hasn't been actively published for years. It's just about to come out here. But yet there's been an active league for it the whole time. For the past, basically, when did it go out of print? I'm going to say 15, 16 years ago. I don't remember exactly, but somewhere around there it went out of print. So that to me screams the popularity of this game. So are you excited for the Blood Bowl re-release? Are you going to pick it up? Is this, even if you've sworn off GW, maybe like the Warhammer world, could Blood Bowl draw you back into at least that game as a standalone game? That sort of thing. I think it's really interesting. I will also say my initial impression of it was that teams look really good. And with the exception of the human team, which does look like football players, a lot of these teams could have double usage. So that is to say, I got to look at the orcs very close up, and they look like great plastic Ardboys, or black orcs, or iron orcs, or whatever. I really liked them. I thought they were great looking orcs. In much the same way, the Skaven team, I don't know yet. I haven't decided whether I want to pick up the game. Okay. But I am almost certainly going to pick up the Skaven team when it's released alone and use them as like gutter runners, because I think they look like awesome, like sort of gutter runners, independent models. I think they're really, really cool. And for the most part, they pretty much just look like mildly armored Skaven. I think if you threw a little bit of a cloak on them, maybe a tiny bit of green stuff work, maybe even not, they're good to go. So what do you think about them? Could you see using the figs for other purposes? Are you interested in the game? Could this bring you back in? Discuss down below in the comments, or as always, response videos will be linked down below. Looking forward to it. We'll see you next time.